Hi, I'm Thom Rubel, Executive Director of the Morgan Arts Council, and welcome to State of the Art. Today we're talking to Jill Klein Rone. Welcome, Jill.
Thank you very much.
Jill
Thom.
is our coordinator for our summer concert series here at the Ice House and Morgan Arts Council, and she's brought several other guests along with her today, but we'll introduce them shortly. So Jill, tell me, what is Concerts in the Park?
Concerts in the Park is a great time. It's a place to be on a hot Saturday afternoon in the middle of the summer in Berkeley Springs. This is our 30th year of bringing international music to the park in Berkeley Springs, and it's a free concert series. People come out, bring picnics, wade in the run, and of course when it's 95 degrees and feels like hotter, it's the place to be on a Saturday afternoon at 5:30 in the middle of July.
I was just about to ask at what time.
July and August.
What happens if it rains?
It doesn't. It doesn't. We have good weather. Actually, we had to move indoors once this summer, and that's in the Ice House. Mm-hmm. It's a great air-conditioned spot, and that's where we go if it rains.
Gotcha.
We're blessed with good
weather. So tell me, why do we do this? Why is MAC involved with the Concerts in the Park, and why did it start, and what good are we doing in terms of, our mission is to get art out there.
That's right. And I actually did this yesterday. I looked up the definition of music, and I think this is great. Music, the art or science of combining vocal or instrumental sounds, or both, to produce beauty of form, harmony, and expression of emotion.
Wow.
That's music.
Gets it out there.
Yeah, and music, as you well know, is good for the soul. It's actually good physically, mentally. There's also, I did that, I've got a whole list of things that music's good for. That's one of the reasons we do it, is to get art out there, to share music with a lot of people who might not have the opportunity to go and pay for a concert, for one thing, because as you well know, concerts are expensive, and music, good things in life sometimes cost us money.
So how many people show up? Do people come?
People do come. We have anywhere from 250 to over 700 people come out for any given concert, and it's always a good time. And we have a full range of music, so some people like jazz, which we have Eastern Standard Time, first-class jazz musicians coming in to do that. Some people like bluegrass. We had our own Robbie Mann, Allegheny Ramblers come in. That was the one we had to move indoors, and it was packed.
Great.
Yeah.
Great. So talk to me about types of music. What appeals to people? And we have our guests here. How do they relate to that?
Yes, well, our guest. Now, Pete Seeger, of course. Pete Seeger was a great a folk musician, I guess you say, and folk music, Americana. It's very popular, still is. A lot of people do traditional music and other people's songs, and a lot of people are carrying on that tradition, writing their own music. So Pete Seeger would be very happy to see what we're doing here in the Concerts in the Park.
Is that right?
He would.
Oh,
he
cool.
would. Now, of course, there are lots of different kinds of music, and carrying on the tradition of our friend here. Come on here, Elvis. Now I don't think I can make my finger move quite the way Elvis would move, because I'd have to be triple or quadruple jointed.
Gotcha.
But Daryl Davis. The Daryl Davis Band, who is our closer for this summer on August the 20th. He's a boogie-woogie blues piano player. I know he also plays guitar and sings, and he is dynamite. He really is. And I'm sure that Elvis is looking down from somewhere and is very appreciative of all the different kinds of music we have here in the park.
Well, the park's very historic. We have George Washington's bathtub there.
We do.
So if I go back to George's time, I got this guy here. This would be Mozart. You see, he's got the ponytail, sort of like George, and
yes.
So, how does Mozart get to the Concerts in the Park? What kind of music brings Mozart to that?
Well, let's see who comes closest. We don't generally do classical music per se on a Saturday afternoon in July or August, but classical music is the background of so much. Kind of like ballet sets the foundation for lots of kinds of dance.
Yep.
I was just listening to an interview with a jazz trumpet player this morning, and he started out playing classical music, and still, even though he switched over to jazz, still goes back to his roots and still has that as his foundation. So classical.
So we don't
music,
need a symphony in the park to have Mozart present.
No, we don't. We just need to listen to great music, and all of these musicians, from Jim Donovan and the Sun King Warriors to, oh boy, we had Blair Crimmins and the Hookers. Now, it's not what it sounds like. These guys were
Right.
Dixieland jazz, but not your grandmother's Dixieland jazz.
No,
that's
I
for
was
sure.
there. They were great.
Yeah, they were.
So this little character right here is extremely popular right now,
Yeah,
Alexander
he is.
Hamilton.
He is.
A cohort of George's.
Yes.
And how did, Alexander has been turned into kind of hip hop with the musical, the Broadway musical now.
Yeah.
And what kind of folks have we had in that genre who really bring him to life?
Well, we're going to talk about hip hop a little later when we talk about all of the school programming, because we have someone real special coming in who does that. But I'd say, Caravan of Thieves, as far as doing something new and exciting, breaking boundaries, taking musical genres and combining them. So Caravan of Thieves is one of those that just does a great job with that. And who else? Well, I can't say that Black Sheep does reggae, but
Yep.
there's just all kinds of music. And as with the case of Hamilton, where they took the seed of something and they just exploded it.
So the folks who are in attendance, how does the music impact them? I see you dancing when I'm there.
I
You have
love
folks
to
who
dance.
What
We
about
do.
what about last week when I saw the band go down into the crowd and you had a little parade?
Yeah, we did, and that's a traditional Dixieland jazz thing where they do. It's not a conga line. I think it's like a funeral thing. I can't think of the exact terminology,
Right.
but a lot of people got up and danced, and it just, like I said, it makes you feel good, and it reduces stress. It actually, improves all sorts of things, that decreases depression. So, whether you get up and dance or you just sit there tapping your foot or bobbing your head, it's a good time.
So we got all these musicians, we've got all the folks in the park. This doesn't happen without resources and money, right? I mean,
No.
how does that get taken care of?
Well, Tom, even better than I do, since you deal with like all of that paperwork. But of course, we have local sponsors. We have the West Virginia Natural Resources Department and the State Park, who provides a wonderful space. We have the West Virginia Commission on the Arts and the National Endowment for the Arts. Hotel, motel money from the town of Bath and Morgan County. And then, of course, we ask people to
What
do
about
what
your
they
magic
can.
buckets?
That magic basket, that's what I say. We ask people to do what they can. It is free. Anyone can come. And if people can support it, we ask them to do that and to give what they can and what they think it's worth, and support in that way so we can keep bringing
And they're
music.
pretty generous.
People are very generous, and we're very appreciative of that. We're very grateful.
Good. Well, in terms of what's coming up, we have 1 week left. We have 2 weeks left, actually, in this year. How do you start thinking about next year and what you're going to pull together? You're probably not going to have the same musicians as you had last year. What's your mindset in planning all that?
Well, I have a long list already started for next year, people who didn't quite make it in this year. People are always recommending someone, sometimes backed by popular demand. I mean, boy, if I could repeat this concert series, every year I say, this is the best one ever. How are we going to do better than that? But there's some great music out there. And so we're always interested in people's suggestions. And you never know. I mean, one of the bands this year, the agent who was the agent for Caravan of Thieves, said, well, I have this other band coming through on August 6th. Take a look, you see? And yeah, I said, oh, they're great. And so sometimes they just kind of fall in your lap, and sometimes you work real hard to get them here at the right time. So, and like I said, there's only 7, so I try to do a wide range of different kinds of styles.
Right, good. Well, we only have about a minute left here. I know that, we get people out to music in the park. Do we do anything else during the year musically, or is it pretty much our summer program?
Oh, well, there's usually the annual Roots concert, which is right after Thanksgiving, the Friday after Thanksgiving. We've got a really exciting hip-hop artist coming in, Chris Styles Bacon, coming in October. He's going to be in all the schools, as well as doing an evening performance October 21st. He should be great. I've seen his video. So, and everyone can find out at macicehouse.org. We should let people know that our schedule is right there.
Great. Well, thanks, Jill. Really appreciate your coming in today and talking about the music. Appreciate all the hard work you do, and we will look forward to the last couple of series in this year and a great program next year.
Thank you, Tom.
Thanks again.